Virgo, hello there, my beautiful friends. We're going to do your general tarot reading for mid-March 2024. Thank you so much for joining me today. You know I appreciate each and every single one of you. So let's get right down to business, as always, and start you off with an oracle card here, just so we could dip our toes into energy and see what's happening for the lovely Virgos. Hope you're all doing fabulous and fantastic, my friends. Let's get it going here. My guides and spirit team, talk to me about Virgo in mid-March. The year is moving right along, my friends, nice and quick. And yeah, we're just going to take a real quick look at this first card, then we'll get into the full reading itself. And at the very end, I'll pull you a bonus card from the Shadowland Tarot, just to see what might be in the shadows or what shadow work you can lean in on, which is always interesting. But let's get it going here. Let's rock and see what we got for Virgo. Your last couple of weeks' readings have been very intriguing, to say the least. We'll talk about that more in a second, though. What do we got here? Okay. A card did like 3 flips out of my hand, and we do have the aspect of time here, whether something needs time or whether you're like waiting on something. All right, and just as I was saying, like, oh yeah, the year is moving along, it feels like it's been going quick. We have this big connection to the concept or aspect of time, which we'll dig into much deeper in a moment. Before we do, though, if you're new here, I'll be speaking about the March subscriber surprise towards the end, so you might want to check that out. Also, if you could kindly illuminate that like button by tapping it right on its third eye, I'd greatly appreciate it. But enough of the promo, into the reading. Let's have a little talk about this card. So she does show up from time to time. We see the lady, she's wearing like that shawl over her head, and she is holding the hourglass. The sand is slipping through her fingers out of the hourglass onto the ground. So I just think about time in general. Now, it's my personal belief that we all experience time in different ways at different times, right? You know how some days it feels like the day is dragging, never ending. Some days it just goes by in a snap. Same thing could be said for like a month, a year, 5 years, 10 years. Like, time could move very, very quick, or it could drag. So for some of you, there could be little interesting fluctuations about how you experience time. Another portion of you might be waiting on something, whether you're waiting to hear back from something, waiting on some time to pass, time heals all wounds, stuff like that. For another portion of you, could be someone waiting on you in one form or another. So the construct of time is always a really in-depth thing to show up within a reading. And we'll see if it affects the rest of the cards, but we're just going to put her down over there. She could keep waiting. Let's get into tarot now. And yeah, I always say that first card, it doesn't make or break the reading. It's just a little footnote. So let's get you 3 cards in the upright. Then we'll get into the intuitive juiciness. What do we got here for Virgo, please? And while we shuffle up and get this deck ready to go, let's talk about your most recent reading. You had a bonus a few days ago. It was titled A Shocking Talk, and now that was for the month of March. So you might be having some very interesting conversations. But last week's reading, it was titled An Unexpected Win. Do you notice the theme in both of those titles? Both of those readings had a lot of stuff popping up out of nowhere. Whether it's people, whether it's situations, it feels like things are just popping in, popping up. So we're going to see if that continues. As you know, energy is very fluid. It's never set in stone. So only take this how it hits for you, because we could be seeing your vibe or somebody else's. But it has been feeling a little sporadic. Okay. Normally, I experience Virgo energy as that nice, dependable, sturdy, predictable type of, not always predictable, but you get what I mean. It's just a nice steady energy. It's been different the past couple of weeks, and we got the Wheel of Fortune in position number 1. This could be really, really good. All right, it might be your lucky day coming up, but at the same time, it's part of that energy theme that I've been seeing. The wheel is just like that. It's very sudden, and we'll get more detail. We have Lady Justice in position number 2. We already have a theme starting to emerge here, my friends, especially with that first Oracle card. Now we have 2 of the biggest Karmic cards as well. Let's get you one more. Thank you. All right, 6 of Swords, so something improving. So yeah, Virgo, there's a couple of themes that we're seeing here in this spread. So let's go through. I'll give you some of the classical meanings and archetypes, then we'll get into that juicy, intuitive stuff. So at first look, first glance, obviously I already mentioned it. We have the Wheel and Lady Justice. They are both cards that could represent the karmic journey, the karmic cycle of life, how time continues to roll through, time continues to progress. We also have the improvement here on the back end. So we are seeing certain themes start to show up for you this week. Very powerful when you combine these two. On the back end, we have the 6 of Swords, which is air energy. So is Lady Justice. So For a lot of you, this could be a very active mental state. Could have a lot of stuff on the mind. You could be thinking about a lot of things more so than normal, but it's also communication whenever we have air. So let's go through piece by piece and really start to build this out. Position number 1, the Wheel of Fortune. One of my favorite cards in the whole entire deck. So I always say this is my 4-leaf clover. This is your lucky day type of energy. So for a lot of you, this could be really, really nice. This could be a good turn of luck. It might be a good time to go try your luck, play the lotto, whatever. You don't have to. But this is a nice card and a nice energy. It's very protective. It's Jupiter energy. So to me, it represents blessings and luck or someone watching over you. This is really good. But once again, the wheel continues to turn. It never stops. It never stops progressing. So it could speak about change. Normally, the wheel is a very sudden shifting type of energy. So once again, it's fast. It's like kind of unexpected or surprising in its own energy. Just happens really quickly. But once again, it could just be karmic archetypes that we're going to have to take a look at here, especially paired up with Lady Justice. And you know what? I'm not even going to go too much further into it. Even in its reversal form, the wheel is pretty positive for the most part. Moving to the center, we got Lady Justice, Libra energy. Okay, so some of you, you might be connected to Libra. I know Virgo season's right next to Libra, so you might have some Libra placements yourself. But when I see her, a lot of things pop up. This could represent legal situations. It could represent contracts. So anything where you're putting your name on a dotted line, please make sure you're reading it and double checking it, dotting the I's, crossing the T's, because this could be any sort of paperwork. We're talking like taxes, leases, buying vehicles, buying homes, anything where you're signing a contract or anything legal. But she's a fair and balanced type of energy. So for a lot of you, you might be in the mode and mindset where it's like, okay, I'm going to make this right. I'm going to balance this out. I'm going to work on this. It's like very particular and nice in that sense. But once again, aside from choices, decisions, and balancing things out and making them right, Lady Justice is the strongest, biggest karmic card in the whole entire deck. So it's like we get a double dose of this karmic energy here. Okay, so for a lot of you, it could be a lot of big shifts and changes. We'll see when we get to her. I mean, in her simple form, a lot of you, it could just be making a choice or a decision as well. But on to the back end, we have the 6 of Swords. Now, normally when people see a lot of swords in a spread, they get a little on edge because, it could be intense sometimes. Swords are very fast-moving energy as well. So when I see the 6 of Swords, I think of things improving, especially with this karmic energy and things shifting and the sudden energy in the beginning. This could be something getting better or improving. The 6 of Swords, it could represent distance. It could represent travel. So if you're planning a trip or something like that. Now, the rough side of this card, aside from improvement, aside from distance and all the stuff we already mentioned, the 6 of Swords could represent someone you're connected to where you feel like they're not paying attention to the right things or they're not owning up to their responsibilities. That's a big thing when the 6 of Swords is here in its roughest sense. But it is change-based, it's progress, it's forward movement, forward momentum. Okay, so we're going to have to dig into all this deeper. Let's do it, Virgo. We're going to jump in and clarify. All right, let's get a good shuffle here and see what's happening for the lovely Virgos, guides and spirit team. And yes, this is where I go intuitive with the message, which means I just tell you how it feels to me. So feel free to do further research or rely on your base knowledge of tarot, because as you know, every single reading is about the reader's interpretation, and I'm just giving you mine. Let's go in on that wheel. And yes, if you're a reader yourself, please feel free to play along. That's why the box is here. If you're feeling any messages you want to give to Virgo, you could drop it in the comments. I don't mind at all. All right, Wheel of Fortune time. Talk to me. Talk to me. Thank you. Okay, Death card, another karmic card. I don't want to say this is like a karmic warning or anything just yet, but we have the 3 biggest. I mean, the only one we're missing is Judgment. Then we'd have like the big 4. All of these are heavily tied to the karmic archetypes and cycles of life. So for a lot of you, this could be like that karmic shift, that karmic change happening very, very quickly. Now, the Death card, don't ever be nervous about it. It could represent a Scorpio that you're connected to or someone with Scorpio placements. This is more a card of reinventing yourself or remaking yourself, evolving. So there is something about evolution that I'm seeing here, whether it's a situation you're involved in, a karmic situation, in fact, where you're meant to learn some sort of lesson and it's starting to evolve and take on new aspects, new archetypes. So for a lot of you, if you've been going through a time of like intense change, intense transformation, it's like, damn, my life this year is way different than it was last year. This is that karmic situation starting to show up. But I do see evolution and progress here. But it's something that I can't ignore when we have the wheel and the death card and Lady Justice. It's like karmic, 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 karmic. So we're going to keep pushing forward. I'm not going to sit here and try to pull too many messages out of it. Once again, yeah, it could be the karmic wheels turning, the karmic shifts and changes, or a situation that's taking on new aspects or new changes, okay? New dynamics. That's the best way I could put it. So let's move over to Lady Justice and see what she has to say. Okay. So yeah, once again, whether it's like internally or with another person, like there's a karmic situation at play, okay? And then there could also be the returning type of energy. I want to say this as well before we move on. I've been seeing it for a lot of the zodiac in like recent weeks, particularly. Even several others this week where I see an energy that's cycling back. And I know that we're very close, or we're kind of in eclipse season. There's a lot of stuff happening in the stars. So once again, when we have a lot of stuff happening astrologically, it could really be affecting you in a big way, even if you don't know it or notice it. Okay, so we're going to keep moving over to Justice. But there's this energy, I'm getting it again, like returning, cycling back around, because even like the Six of Swords could be that. Let's see what Justice has to say. I don't want to get too hung up here. So, yeah, and just as I started speaking about it, here it is. Okay, we have the Six of Cups, the card of history, repeating cycles. Okay, now not every cycle that we have been through is a bad one. Okay, like just like with anything in life, you have good things from your past, you have rough things from your past. It's really all about discerning which was which and which you wouldn't mind letting back into your life. But when I see Lady Justice with the Six of Cups, I mean, I don't think it's just you sitting there thinking about the past and thinking about your history and trying to make a decision because it's the past. We have all these cards, which in their own sense, yours is coming through the strongest out of any of them, that there could be situations coming back around and returning. There could be individuals coming back around and returning. There is new archetypes and paradigms showing up with it as well. But whenever I see the Six of Cups, it could represent soul ties, it could represent soul connections. It is a card of memories. So whenever I see it, I think of people that we have history with, memories that we have, and it's embedded within all this karmic energy and this stuff here. So for a lot of the Virgos, I know not every single one out there, you could have a lot of things returning, whether they are karmic situations, whether it's people. I mean, it's up to you whether you will allow it or not, but it's showing up here powerfully. Let's keep moving over to the Six of Swords. And I hate to sound like a broken record, my friends, I really do. But the message that comes through, that's what comes through, right? So let's see what the Six of Swords has to say. For a small portion of you, I know I was speaking about eclipse season. The fact that all this karmic energy and past energy showing up in your spread might be spirit telling you like, hey, there's some things that you might have to mentally revisit and deal with, because that often happens with some astrological things, especially eclipses, where we need to come to peace with something. So let's go over to the Six of Swords. Why is it here? Thank you. Okay. And you're going to feel much better about something. Okay, which is nice. Now that can mean a whole number of different things. For a portion of you, you could have some sort of level up in regards to money. If you've been stressing out about work or anything financial, this could be that energy alleviating, which is really nice. But when I see the Five of Pentacles in reverse under the Six of Swords, generally it's more of a complete feeling, if that makes sense. So whether it is dealing with all this stuff we already saw or something completely different, Six of Swords, Five of Pentacles in reverse tells me that like either you are going to feel better after you work through and deal with this stuff, or the next cycle you're moving into just feels much more positive and less of a struggle. But I do feel for a lot of you, this could be really nice financially. Okay, so I wouldn't be surprised if any of you, whether you're looking for new work or you get a raise or anything where it increases your abundance, it could even be business. There's good energy around either recovering financially or leveling up financially, which is good. Or at the very least, finding some sort of acceptance or peace. This is really good. But let's go through and do a quick recap here, Virgo. I know lots of different things. There's also a lot of themes showing up here. But if you kindly look in the box before we get into the shadow card, position number 1, we have the Wheel of Fortune with the Death card. Lots of different zodiac signs showing up here, but the main thing I'm picking up is this heavy karmic energy. So whether it's a karmic situation that takes on new legs, or it's a situation that evolves a little bit, I'm absolutely seeing that here. And this is where we start the cycle, where it's like returning. So whether it's old things that you need to deal with that we kind of see here in the middle, but it's just really pointing towards this. And we've been seeing it since the very beginning too, with the progression of time. Okay, so whether you're like reliving something, okay, moving to the center, we have Lady Justice with the 6 of Cups in the upright. Yeah, maybe some of you are still going through some legal things, that's possible. But the main thing I think of here is not just thinking about the past and coming to peace with it within your own head. I feel like there's a lot of things that could really return in this time, and it'll be up to you whether you allow it to or not. And it feels extremely tied to your karmic destination. Onto the back end, we have the 6 of Swords with the 5 of Pentacles in reverse. I do feel for a lot of you, this is really good for finances, for anything in regards to money. So whether it's a new job or getting a raise or just having much better finances, this could be good. But the main vibe I was picking up is like, okay, well, after this situation, the next cycle is good and you're going to feel much better, okay? Or it's just energy improving. So I do like the end piece of this, but just watch out for all this. This is very powerful stuff. And I'm not getting big red flags, so. But yeah, Virgo, please take a screenshot. Let's see what's in the shadows for you. So my guides, talk to me. What do we have in the shadows for the lovely Virgos here? Please and thank you. And yes, my friends, I always like to pull one shadow card at the very end just to see whether it's something within you or something you don't quite see. It doesn't always have to be a rough thing. Sometimes shadow cards can be very good. So let's get you one here. What do we got for Virgo? And if you've made it to this point in the reading, please feel free to check out channel memberships. I'll put a link for it in the comments below. It's a beautiful way to support the channel, and I have much love for all my channel members. Okay, let's get it going. What do we got here for Virgo? Thank you. Okay. So we have like this heavy pentacle base type of energy here, which is good. We have the 9 of Pentacles, which is all about abundance. It's very sturdy, very firm. So this could be really nice when we see it in the shadows. However, there could be some topics around material possessions in this time that do come up. Okay, so whether it's assets or money or material possessions, when this shows up in the shadows, it's spirit telling you, okay, be careful with all that type of stuff, especially with like the legal stuff we saw within the reading itself. Now, the 9 of Pentacles is a card of the lone wolf, or somebody that's feeling very independent, like I got this, I could do this on my own, I don't need any assistance. This could be spirit telling you, Virgo, that hey, if you are going through a difficult one or too many intense things, spirit's telling you like it's okay to seek assistance or help if you need it. Aside from that though, this 9 of Pentacles is a beautiful, sturdy, grounded, abundant type of energy. And the fact that we do pick it up in the shadows tells us that there's something nice coming down the pipeline. So I feel like this is really, really good stuff. And yeah, Virgo, that's what I have for you this week, my friends. Don't click away just yet, though. I'm going to give you the details of the March subscriber surprise. If you would like to get a personal reading done with me, you can find my digital calendar on mastermetaphysics.com, so please feel free to check it out. But for the March subscriber surprise, I'm giving away 2 copies of the beautiful, fantastic Tarot of the Owls. So if you'd like to get your name in for that, it's 2 simple things, as always, my friends. First, you must be subscribed. And second, let me know down in the comments, what is your favorite zodiac sign? And give me a couple reasons why. You'll be entered to win, and at the end of the month, the winners will be announced in my community tab. As always, my friends, much love, and I'll see you soon.